Hare Krishna. Welcome back to our online Bhagavad Gita reading retreat lab. So, in the last session, we have completed till verse number 12 of chapter number 7. And today we are going to read only two verses, that is verse number 13 and verse number 14. And we will be seeing how different modes are controlled by Krishna and why this is surrender. Now let's move to the Vedas. We will start reading from verse number 13. So chapter number 7, verse number 13. So as usual, we're having in this print, we will be having English and German, both languages side by side. That is a facility offered by Vedas. Chapter number 7, verse number 13. Translation. Deluded by the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, the whole world doesn't know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible. Purpose. The whole world is enchanted by the three modes of material nature. Those who are bewildered by these three modes cannot understand that transcendental to this material nature is the Supreme Lord Krishna. Every living entity under the influence of material nature has a particular type of body and a particular type of psychological and biological activities accordingly. There are four classes of men functioning in the three material modes of nature. Those who are purely in the mode of goodness are called Brahmanas. Those who are purely in the mode of passion are called Kshatriyas. Those who are in the modes of both passion and ignorance are called Vaishyas. Those who are completely in ignorance are called Shudras. And those who are less than that are animal life. However, these designations are not permanent. I may be either a Brahmana, Kshatriya, or Vaishya, whatever. In any case, this life is temporary. But although life is temporary and we do not know what we are going to be in the next life, by the spell of this illusory energy, we consider ourselves in terms of this bodily conception of life. And we thus think that we are American, Indian, Russian, or Brahmana, Hindu, Muslim, etc. And if we become entangled with the modes of material nature, then we forget the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Who is behind all these modes? So Lord Krishna says that living entities deluded by these three modes of nature do not understand that behind the material background is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are many different kinds of living entities, human beings, demigods, animals, etc. And each and every one of them is under the influence of material nature, and all of them have forgotten the transcendent personality of Godhead. Those who are in the mode of passion and ignorance, and even those who are in the mode of goodness, cannot go beyond the impersonal Brahman conception of the absolute truth. They are bewildered before the Supreme Lord in his personal teacher, which possesses all beauty, opulence, knowledge, strength, fame, and renunciation. When even those who are in goodness cannot understand what hope is there for those in passion and ignorance. Krishna consciousness is transcendental to all these three modes of material nature, and those who are truly established in Krishna consciousness are actually liberated. Now we will move to the next verse. Chapter number 7, verse number 14. Translation. This divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Purpose. The Supreme Personality of God has innumerable energies, and all these energies are divine. Although the living entities are part of his energies and are therefore divine, due to contact with material energy, their original superior power is covered. Being thus covered by material energy, one cannot possibly overcome its influence. As previously stated, both the material and spiritual natures, being emanations from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, are eternal. The living entities belong to the eternal superior nature of the Lord, but due to contamination by the inferior nature matter, their illusion is also eternal. The conditioned soul is therefore called Nityabadha or eternally conditioned. No one can trace out the history of his becoming conditioned at a certain date in material history. Consequently, his release from the clutches of material nature is very difficult, even though that material nature is an inferior energy, because material energy is ultimately conducted by the supreme will, which the living entity cannot overcome. Inferior material nature is defined herein as a divine nature due to its divine connection and movement by the divine will. Being conducted by divine will, material nature, although inferior, acts so wonderfully in the construction and destruction of the cosmic manifestation. The Vedas confirm this as follows. Mayam tu prasiddhim vidyam mayam tu Vishwaram. Although Maya, illusion, is false or temporary, the background of Maya is supreme magician, the personality of Godhead, who is Maheshwara, the supreme controller. Sitavatara Upanishad 4.10. Another meaning of guna is rope. It is to be understood that the conditioned soul is tightly tied by the ropes of illusion. A man bound by the hands and feet cannot free himself. He must be held by a person who is unbound. Because the bound cannot help with the bound, the rescuer must be liberated. Therefore, only Lord Krishna or his bona fide representative, the spiritual master, can release the conditioned soul. Without such superior help, one cannot be freed from the bondage of material nature. Devotional service or Krishna consciousness can help one gain such release. Krishna, being the Lord of the illusory energy, can order this insurmountable energy to release the conditioned soul. He orders this release out of his causeless mercy on the surrendered soul and out of his paternal affection for the living entity, who is originally a beloved son of the Lord. Therefore, surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord is the only means to get free from the clutches of the stringent material nature. The words Mama Eva are also significant. Mama means unto Krishna, Vishnu only, and not Brahma or Shiva. Although Brahma and Shiva are greatly elevated and are almost on the level of Vishnu, it is not possible such incarnations of Rajaguna, passion, and Tamaguna, ignorance, to release the conditioned soul from the clutches of Maya. In other words, both Brahma and Shiva are also under the influence of Maya. Only Vishnu is the master of Maya. Therefore, he alone can give release to the conditioned soul. The Vedas, Sitavastara Upanishad 3.8, confirm this in the phrase Sameva Viditva, or freedom is possible only by understanding Krishna. Even Lord Shiva affirms that liberation can be achieved only by the mercy of Vishnu. Lord Shiva says, Mukti Pradada Sarveshram Vishnu Eva Na Samsaya. There is no doubt that Vishnu is deliverer of liberation for everyone. So with this, we completed this section, that is the verse number 13 to 14. So we have seen the verses, just to summarize, 13 and 14 explain how the living entities are deluded and controlled by the three modes of material nature. That is your Sattvagun, Rajagun, and Tamagun. Mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. But are able to go beyond them by surrendering to Krishna. So Krishna is the controller of all the modes. So we have to surrender unto him. So with this, we completed this section today. And in the next session, we will be start with the verse number 15 till verse number 19. It will be trying to understand who are the four kinds of impious persons who do not surrender to Krishna, and also we'll be seeing like who are the four kinds of pious persons who do surrender to Krishna. So with this, we'll be completing today's session, and then we will stop here. Hare Krishna.